rappers crisis, going through crisis from the 90s. We are witnessing one of those, probably one of the greatest. I won't say he was a rapper, but promoter, producer, and definitely, an investor in rap music. Puff is, we maybe a day or a week
Shy
away.
from the results of what's gonna happen.
I gotta,
Yeah,
what I'm
no,
saying,
you
I
gotta
gotta
talk
get
about
with
it.
you gotta talk about it.
I think I've been watching it. I've been very involved in watching it from the beginning. Shocked at some of the accusations. It was some cringeworthy moments for me. I was very cringeworthy in a lot of things, but I think there's five that they're gonna drop 5 charges of that. And I think that in the event that they drop 5, I don't know if they got him on something. Government is real tricky with that kind of shit. We're talking about a federal case, on him, and I don't know if they presented enough evidence to get a RICO, sex trafficking. I don't know. I don't think. I mean, there's definitely spousal abuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not laughing.
Yeah.
Just saying this. That's there. It's evident. You know what I'm saying? But again, I think we as a culture just have to do what we are supposed to do. I think, we're not a culture, we're a subculture. And I think he was role playing Hugh Hefner. And it just went too far.
It looks like that.
I mean, it mirrors the same image. He was role playing like he was that guy. And then, it just got Playboy Mansion style and it just went too far.
Do you think, me and my queen often talk about this almost every day. Do you think that this is an outlet that they have created to take down powerful black business, moguls? Do you think that this is something to attack us?
I think it was.
To destroy us?
Yeah, in 1991, what was it, 1990, not 1991, 1801, when Jack Johnson was the first heavyweight champion of the world, he went out on a Mann Act. He went out. That was his, the FBI, I don't know if people know, the FBI formed the FBI because of him. Our first, federal investigations came through the world because of Jack Johnson.
Yes, I've heard.
And he got hit with the same charge.
Yes.
So,
And it was his white wife or something, right?
Yeah, he was crossing the state lines with her, and they said for legal purposes, they said she was but that was his wife.
Yeah.
He cried when he got locked up, and then it was horrible for Jack Johnson. But Jack Johnson was one of those characters that stuck it to white America. They didn't like Jack Johnson. When Joe Louis came around, they made Joe Louis opposite from Jack Johnson. That's why Joe Louis was so big. He wasn't allowed to take pictures with white women or date them. And if he took a picture with a white child, he better be feeding a goat or an animal. And that's what he did. So, in this case, right? I mean, it's horrible. Let's don't sugarcoat it. It's bad shit that went down. But I said, that's what I always say about spinning the narrative, right? When we're looking at them, we can't be them. And every time we try to cross that threshold, being them, we get persecuted. No question about that. Like, I think that in 3 days we're gonna know the outcome of that. But I just want to say this: in the event that we're gonna tread water back into this music game or anything we do, we have to create our own identity, stick to what works for us as a community, and build our communities up. Because this is tearing it down. To see him being, ostracized like this, another, one of us, it's not helping our community out.
No, yeah, how could it?
Right, and with saying that though, let's look at us. When we do tread the water next time, let's stay away from what they're doing. And let's rebuild us the way we can do it, you know. And we don't have to crush the other the women in our community to do that. We have to pick our women up.
I'm glad you said that because that's the point that I already knew what my spiritual brother was going to say.
Yeah.
That's the point I make to people, and that's the point I even make, you know, to my queen.
Right.
It's not about the destruction of this so-called black mogul or so-called black moguls. It's the devil coming to receive his profit. You know, if you want to be correct, what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? You got to give your life to the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, comfortable in our sin, you know, and
they are so comfortable right now.
That is what has happened. These people are people that you see that as a result have many years have went through warnings and went through different things, and they don't, you know, they begin to be comfortable in their sin, and they don't think that, you know, the
chicken's gonna come home to roost.
Exactly. And don't tell me about the government. Don't tell me about the law enforcement. The law enforcement has been placed here for a reason. They do not swing the sword in vain.
No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying? If they swing the sword, you are doing something wrong. My God, if you pissing on women
all
and
that
doing
money, all that money you had,
like,
you could have did something really
yeah,
good.
you know what I'm saying? That's you spending that money on that, on the baby oil and that, and this baby's out starving.
That's crazy.
And you out buying baby oil to rub on naked bodies.
Again, we're trying to do what they do, and we're getting caught up.
We're trying to follow the most vicious thing that has been introduced to us, and that is porn.
Yeah, that's horrible.
See, that is what people don't realize. We're following and we're trying to imitate porn. Porn is not okay, people. Porn is poison and it's demonic and it's a bad spirit that has been placed on us. And most people have become addicted to porn from children, like a Puff Daddy, you know. And what happens with porn is when you watch something, those thoughts, you will later in the future unconsciously try to project those thoughts out into your own life. So now when you with a female, you are trying to reenact those porn type things. So what we see is if you even follow the trial, that's cockhold. You know, having the, you know, God screw your girl and you there, you know, doing that. That's cockhold stuff that they were having porn. You know what I'm saying? You could obviously see he's imitating porn. And even if you listen to the trial, Cassie said that they had to perform porn scenes. The scene that they're doing, the freak-offs are supposed to be reenactment of porn scenes. So, you know, they're acting. Yeah, I don't know what you follow, but they're role playing. That's porn. But he wants his porn live, you know, in action where he's, you know, there watching. But bottom line, it lets you know that how poison porn is. Now, speaking about that, did you know that the person that created and came up with the idea of making porn said that when he had came up with the way to destroy Jesus Christ? Study it.
Woo! Oh, that makes sense because Roman Caligula.
Yes.
That's where they got it from.
That's what he
Caligula.
said. The guy who said he had came up with a way
Caligula. That makes sense.
To destroy Christ.
That's
and
crazy.
Christ followers. Destroy Christ and Christ followers.
That makes so much sense.
Get it, people?
Caligula was horrible.
It is doing that to this day. It's destroying us. So porn is bad. That's a message.